Welcome to another upload of Rampage and Rage. The victim will make all attempts to keep the testimony from becoming a nuclear reaction, but at this point, whether you're new listening or you've been listening for a while, you'll more than likely come to understand what the outrage is all about. So we're now at the end of May 2025. And last night at about 25 after 9 o'clock, there was another satanic humiliation ritual perpetuated by public servants employed by the RICO district of Saanich. So this is Facebook. So here's the pinned post. So that's exactly what's happening. There's real estate mobbing going on, and true owners are being robbed of our land and our homes. And then the thieves ride off into the sunset with every dollar. So obviously there was no eating and no sleeping. So May the 29th, 2025, around 9:25 p.m. Criminal gang stalker sociopath acting as RICO Saanich police Nick Murray did assault, criminally harass, threaten, menace, torture, terrorize, caused to be in fear of irreparable harm a woman homeless since March 2020. Victim of fraudulent foreclosure. Pathological liars are doing what they always do. Malicious prosecution, malfeasance, misfeasance, breach of trust by public parasites, perjury, fabricating evidence, conspiracy, hate crimes, aiding and abetting. You've got the head hogs are all involved in this. And last year they did dispatch twice SWAT to violate, to degrade, to humiliate. What else could you expect from the spawn? So this thing here, it came alone last night. And it doesn't want its face to be seen. So it stands where it can't be seen and then pounds on the door and threatens and menaces. So this thing here was present on August the 29th with a SWAT team. This is the savage who touched me. That's assault with a deadly weapon. The savage then removed me from one place to another place without consent. That's kidnapping. I was unlawfully confined. I was tortured for close to 24 hours. What you wearing? What you wear says everything about not only what you are, but who you are. So this thing's, it texts me. That's called criminal harassment. Threatens and menaces, causes me to be in fear of irreparable harm. 24/7. This has been going on for years. So you can't actually have an intelligent conversation with these beasts. They're incapable of having an intelligent, constructive conversation with our people, the peculiar people who speak the truth, people who know the truth, people who stand on the truth. There's not many of us here, but we're here, and we're not welcome here. So I try to explain to this thing what's happening, and this is its answer here. Don't contact me again unless you're making an appointment to have the warrant served in the near future. The case is not dismissed, and the only way to resolve this is to engage with police. Who the fuck do you think you are? Resolve it. I am the only woman with the authority to resolve any of this. Thank you. Who the fuck are you? So here we go. Oh, look, the satanic cult has paperwork. Yes, oh, fucking rights they do. Oh, and who did we see? Listen to me. All that they're doing is all fucking illegal. This is a commercial administrative process. This is not a legitimate court. Not even fucking close. And on the 29th of August last year, they needed to have 2 warrants. 2. Because they did not witness this woman committing a crime. They did not witness this woman causing loss, harm, nor injury to any person nor place. They did not witness this woman disturbing the peace. They also needed a warrant to steal the family heirloom, the Mazda 323. Now, if they didn't have those 2 warrants, and they didn't, you've got denial of due process. So you've actually fucked yourselves before you've even begun, is what you've done. And then, so on August the 30th, this woman is subjected to nothing but fucking lies by this malicious, vicious fucking snatch, impersonating the crown and impersonating the public. This fucking snatch starts to lie and then just fucking continues on. And where have all these lies come? All the lies have come from the pathological liars doing business as City of Victoria and District of Saanich. They only hire pathological liars to be their policy enforcers. Then this fucking sick snatch tries to put an innocent woman on probation. Well, bitch, you're only doing that as a punishment for crime. So now you and your partner in crime here, the administrative clerk pretending to be a judge, which it's not, once again have denied due process. You've denied due process. So there again, you're fucked. So there's an invitation here to attend the Synagogue of Satan on September the 5th. And before that date, this woman provides lawful reasons of why she won't be aiding and abetting their crimes. She won't be fucking feeding into their fucking psychosis and their psychopathy, and they're fucking ugly from the inside out. You have absolutely no subject matter and no personal jurisdiction. None. None. Do you know how to read these satanic ritual documents, these satanic cult documents? Anything and everything in a box on the page is not on the page. No. So before the forced eviction on March 2020, you know that I'm working overtime to stop what's happening. I can't be a part of this. Jack and I can't be a part of what they're doing. Jack and I owe fucking no one a dime. So, look at this shit from the wicked website of this fucking joke service. Financial crimes. Are you fucking... There are over 50 sections of the criminal code that deal with fraud-related offenses. Really? Well, can you name 50 of them? Because you're the ones fucking guilty of all 50 sections related to fraud. You knew before the house was stolen? You knew it was being stolen? And you've been informed repeatedly that it's stolen. And what have you done? There, degenerate Duthie and your partner in fucking hate crime. Do you know what the fuck is wrong with you? Because this woman is not at all confused as to what the fuck is wrong with you. Oh, here we go. This is from last November. After they have been informed to fuck right off, you don't have a claim, you don't have a case, you're fucking compulsive fucking liars. You've got the fucking puke in the building with a fucking SWAT team at 3:30 in the fucking afternoon. You should have fucking seen this. Absolutely fucking laughable. Laughable. Sergeant Whitaker? You're a fucking domestic terrorist. You're a fucking brainless beast. You're a bully. Listen, man, Canada's fucked. Canada is fucking, from the head provincial pig, every provincial head pig, and the municipal head pigs, we are talking absolutely fucking corrupt. Corrupt, corrupt, corrupt. Here's some of the bruises from last November when the SWAT team was here. I was black and blue all up my arms. Another 24 hours of fucking torture and humiliation. Degradation. Oh, why not, you know? Like, how many times do we have to hit her before she won't get back up? What do you think, Pukes? How many fucking times? Lovely. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh, what's this? You've got a war rant that's dated the 5th of September after you have been fucking informed to go and fuck yourselves? Wow, you're all fucking deaf, eh? We're all deaf and we're all fucking blind because there were fucking how many of these pathetic, profane, public servants who got that correspondence? No, a war rant. Not endorsed. Unendorsed warrant. Again, remember what I told you about how to read these satanic cult documents? Anything and everything inside of a box is not on the page. You can't read it. It's not there. It's invisible. It's fucking disappeared like a fucking ghost. A clerk of the court. So does that clerk of the court have any first-hand knowledge of what's going on? Well, then they can't fucking issue a warrant for arrest. And this Sandu, that's the female that on November the 20th did commit the act of kidnapping and assault and unlawful confinement and conspiracy and aiding and abetting. Fraud on the court, malicious prosecution. Take a look at the police file numbers. And criminal harassment, really. So apparently, the criminal who was in possession of stolen property is making claims, fraudulent claims, to the liars at the fucking city of Victoria that it is being criminally harassed. That's an out-and-out lie. Count 2, that an innocent woman trying to protect not only her own life, but the last item of property that she has left, you're claiming willfully resisting? No, she has every right to fucking resist you. And no, she won't be getting out of her house car. Oh, so what did you do? Did you fucking completely demolish it? Because you're fucking brainless bullies and you're beasts? Is that what you did? So I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to have anything to fucking do with you. And what have you done here? Oh, it's a judicial justice. So, Mr. Judicial Justice, do you have any first-hand knowledge of what's going on? Well, then you have no fucking standing to put your fucking cursed name on this warrant to enter a dwelling. Oh, and look whose name is here. It's the con. It's the con itself. Nasty fucking Nick, malicious monster Murray. That motherfucker has repeatedly fucking made contact after it's been told to fuck off. Premeditated break and enter, assault with deadly weapons, kidnapping, unlawful confinement, torture, conspiracy to commit war. These are war crimes we're talking about here. No consent to offer of pathetic pagan provincial public satanic services. Victoria's not going to sit there and listen to you fucking demons and your fucking degeneracy. Everything that comes out of your fucking mouths is the stupidest fucking thing we have ever heard in our lives. You just literally fucking spin on the stupid that you do and the stupid that you are. Fuck off. You need to fucking occupy your fucking time with something that actually helps the public. Your public fucking servants are you public servants? Because now we're finding out that you're all fucking private corporations. You have nothing to do with serving the fucking public or keeping the public safe. You fucking scuzzbags. Well, so that's why Victoria continually tries to repossess the stolen land and the stolen house. And that's what they're doing. They've been doing this. Well, they did it to Victoria's son when she tried to save his life. It was the same fucking ugliness. And now look at it's this. Except this time, Victoria started to record everything. But this has been going on for years. Twice a week, a mortgage-free homeowner is being robbed. We did. We purchased the land and the home in January 2003. 2 fraudulent mortgages. One for $680K, the second for $749. Well, Alan Katz knows something about this. He's no longer with us because he couldn't get anybody to help him after he was fucking robbed of everything. I believe it was like over $1 million him and his family were robbed of. The coven, pretending to be the court, wouldn't help him either. Basically told him to go fuck himself. Oh, you've been robbed. Oh, fuck, that's just too bad. They've protected their assets. So he went and did what a man has to do. You can't let fucking scuzz like that fucking breathe, and because they're going to do it to someone else. The question is, where was the Toronto Police Service, public servants, when all this was happening? Because you have to know that they would have known. Doubling down. Yeah, the demons are doubling down. Can't hear the truth, can't see the truth, not interested in the truth, only interested in their fucking lies and ugliness. Because you realize what they are, right? That's the gang. Those are the gangs. Typical fucking gang member, well organized. They've got their gang identifiers on, their gang colors. They're fucking heavily armed. Do not approach gang members, are aggressive and notoriously violent. Yeah. So, months ago, this woman is like, yeah, well, we see what you're doing. We see that you're doing it again. And you don't have any fucking standing in any of this. Who the fuck has got first-hand knowledge of what's going on here? And who the fuck is making claims? Fraudulent claims against an innocent woman. Who? This compulsive fucking liar, Benjamin Howe? Is that who? Really? And who are the fucking rancid fucking reprobates acting as fucking Saanich PD who are claiming Victoria willfully resisted? Well, come forward. We need to find out who the fuck you are. Identify yourselves. The Criminal Identification Act, you have to identify yourselves. Oh, but wait a minute, you have the right to remain silent? Really? How the fuck does that work? So obviously all of the shit that they're doing has to be withdrawn. They have no basis for their claims at all. The warrant that they keep fucking saying is fucking active, is not active, it's withdrawn. Like, no. Fuck off. Because what are you supposed to be doing? What are you supposed to be why do you get fucking paid? Or is that all a fucking ruse as well? Because lately we've been finding out that your oath is a fucking sham. Your fucking oath is a sham. You don't serve anybody but yourselves and your own fucking interests. You pathetic fucking perverts. Pathological fucking liars. But this is what they want everyone to believe. Take a fucking in BC, a legal fiction, police officers, more legalese, have duties derived from both the BC Police Act. Well, a fucking act is not a law. Act is not law. Act is acting as law. It's the color of law. It's not law. And common law. Now that's law. Common law is the law. Those duties include preserving the peace, preventing crime, enforcing the law, and protecting life and property. Okay, so on the 29th of August last year, when Victoria is doing her job as the trustee, because she owes a duty to the beneficiary, which happens to be herself, she owes a duty to that woman as the trustee. That's the power she's been granted by her spouse. Victoria was there to preserve the peace. She was there to prevent crime. She was there to enforce the law. And she was there to protect her life and the family property. And they were there with the SWAT team. Yeah. So this is a live I did this morning. Well, here we are again. It's the end of May now. Look at that. Doesn't time fly? So what we're going to look at here is a cease and desist for trafficking in property obtained by a crime on May the 4th of 2025. So what we've got here is we've got criminal harassment happening by persons who are doing business as ULOC mini storage, who did receive property obtained by crime. They received it on their own during a ban on forced evictions. Now, why would you receive property without the owner present during a ban on forced evictions? Who does that? And then on April the 16th, you found out what? What did you find out? Did you find out that the woman who actually owned the property had been robbed of land and home and assets? And then what did you do? Donna. Yeah, we're talking to a female named Donna. Do you know what cease and desist means, Donna? Because you've been threatening and menacing and harassing Victoria since you found out. So obviously I'm sick to my stomach. I'm not eating. I'm shaking all the time. So after I did that live this morning, I then send an email out. This is the email that I sent out. Whistleblower protected. Public service announcement. All correspondence is a court of record to provide notice of cease and desist or non-negotiable commands. Owners and staff of West Shore ULOC, this morning Victoria addressed the life-threatening concern she's having with your unforgivable lawlessness among other individuals who see themselves as above the law. Listen for your name, important testimony contained in this safe link. So that link is the live, a portion of the live that we just listened to. No consent, no contract. Here's the other thing. You need to actually have a fucking victim to have a fucking crime. Who is the victim? What pathetic fucking pathological lying puke is claiming Victoria has caused them or their property loss, harm, or injury? Well, Victoria never asked the question she doesn't know the answer to, so I guess if you don't have a fucking victim, you wouldn't be having a crime. Count 1, count 2, count 3. Victoria was sent to be a whistleblower. Protections due to women who fight the corrupt. UN Convention whistleblower protection binding on all Canadian public servants. You ever notice this wording that they use about they're bound? Oh, they're fucking bound, all right. Fucking Article 33. Of course, it's Article 33. UN Convention. Protection of reporting persons. Okay, so here we already start off with legalese. Because this woman is not a person. She has never been a person, and she's never going to be a person. She is a woman who stands as a foreign diplomat because that's exactly who she happens to be. Domestic legal system. Oh, yeah. Who reports in good faith and on reasonable grounds to the competent authorities. Well, we don't have any fucking competent authorities here. They're all fucking corrupt. So now what the fuck are you supposed to do? Oh, it's a non-mandatory provision. Well, Victoria is not only a witness, but she's an expert. Sorry, I'm just reading through this. In corruption cases, because of their complexity, such indications have proved to be useful to alert competent authorities and permit them to make key decisions about whether to launch an investigation. Okay, well, that right there is just fucking stupid. Because it's only the victim of the crime that would have that authority. Only the man or woman with first-hand knowledge of what is going on is the competent authority. And they would be the one to make the decision as to whether or not to launch an investigation or to decide whether or not criminal charges are going to be laid. The convention uses the term reporting person. So right there, right? A person is a thing. This is just fucking good. Oh. Practical challenges and solutions. Oh, really? Engaging public officials. Well, you don't want to do that because they're profane, they're pathetic, they're pathological liars. Engaging them will result in, ritual abuse is what will happen to you if you say anything about what they are and what they're doing. Promoting comprehension of proper conduct. Comprehension, how the fuck are you going to get a wicked fucking creature, a corrupt creature to comprehend anything? What is right and wrong? And at what level? Oh, well, that's why we're here. Yes. Emphasizing the need to avoid misconduct. No shit. The importance of speaking out. Well, here's the deal. In the book of Leviticus, in the law, in the living law, if you know of a crime and you don't speak up and say something, you are complicit. You're just as guilty as all those who are committing the crime. You have to say something, even if it costs you your life. Engaging the public. Okay, well, here's another legalese term, the public. Reporting to whom? Well, fuck it, you're right. They're all corrupt. Criteria for reporting. Oh, the protection part. Okay. Reporting persons may be concerned that they may face a variety of unjustified treatment. Oh, no shit. Correspondingly, the tools to thwart such treatment are manifold. Oh, in general, the measures of protection should be commensurate to the danger, although care must be taken in cases where the reporting person is unaware of the seriousness of the report or of the possibility of subsequent inquiries becoming, as the report is investigated, disappropriate to the initial allegations. I tell you what, these are fucking snakes, right? They're snakes. And they're going to wiggle their way out of the truth because they're incapable of hearing the truth, speaking the truth, understanding the truth. Anyway, I had to bring it to their attention. Murdoch, Duffy, Wheeler, Sharma identify the person or persons who are claiming that this woman caused them or their property loss, harm, or injury. Well, who are they? I mean, because these allegations are just, wow, good one. Oh, and so there's the post there. So I let them know again, right? On September 4th, you were told. Lawful reasons, you're not going to be engaging this woman in your shit. Victoria holds the highest authority, the principle of all public and private matters. This woman's not going to harm herself by attempting to employ third parties who have no first-hand knowledge of anything. No first-hand knowledge, no subject matter or personal jurisdiction. I mean, this is who's all involved in this ugliness. Notice effective immediately. Fraud unravels everything. So then I cite the police fucking, well, you've got police found number, court found number. It's all fraud on the court. So what you're going to do is you're going to withdraw all of it because you can't continue on with what you're doing. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So here is, this is the notification I sent them. This is what I was saying to them. This was on May the 4th, like a month ago. What happened to the frickin' document? Telling them to stop. Sorry, there seems to be an issue with the So this is what I said to them. It's not very long. It's pretty straightforward. Like, you can't go around stealing what doesn't belong to you and trafficking it. That's a crime. I mean, law maxims, right? You got the common law first to protect life and property. They're doing neither. And then there's law maxims and then international law. That's the pecking order. That's the order of law. A right cannot arise from a wrong. What's mine cannot be taken away without my consent. Things taken or captured by pirates and robbers don't change their ownership. No one ought to gain by another's loss. No one ought to enrich themselves at the expense of others. Well, you realize, right, that in April of 2020, so the beast bailiffs are the ones who decide where Jack and I's property went. Please excuse me. I mean, obviously, I have an upset stomach. If you're listening to that and that's coming through on the recording, that's so embarrassing, but you have to understand how upsetting. Well, this is physical harm that's being caused to an innocent woman, and it's on purpose. It's willful. It's intentional. What they're doing to me, making me sick, so sick that I can't sleep or eat. Well, because when I went in there on April the 16th, 2020, I'm explaining to this employee, well, I've had my family's had our home robbed, and this is how you come into possession of this property. Obviously, I wasn't here on March the 19th, 2020, when this property was delivered to you. And now I'm being forced to sign an agreement to pay for a storage locker that I don't want and I don't need. And so it starts, right? The threats and menaces start immediately. Well, if you don't pay, then we steal the property, and then we silent auction off the property, and if you don't pay, and if you don't pay, and if you don't pay. Well, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't have a dime to my name. And now I've got to try to keep a roof over my head, when I've had a roof over my head for the last 17 years. So obtaining property by false pretenses, well, that's exactly what Peter Ennis did. You're trafficking in stolen property. And that's what this document's about. I mean, I went through it. April 16th, that's an act done by me against my will is not my act. Well, I'm not given a choice. There's no choice. In contractual relationships, the law demands the consent of each involved be both free and informed. So they keep claiming that this tenancy agreement gives them the right to steal Jack and I's intra's private property, all of its heirloom property now, and they're going to traffic it for their own benefit. Well, there's a link to what happened to Juliette Bombardier, found dead outside BC Senior's home back in 2008. It was a negligent homicide. So I'm explaining to them that your tenancy agreement, your tenant agreement, it's unenforceable. Because April 16th, Victoria had no way of knowing unforeseen events, years of cruel and unusual treatment, ritual abuse, psychological torture, criminal harassment, intimidation, fraud, counseling, breach of public trust by public servants who hate this woman and who intentionally seek to cause her endless loss, harm, and injury. So for some reason, these creatures down here actually believe that they can hide behind these legal fictions. They believe that they can hide behind legal fiction where sure you luck and never be held personally accountable for the harm that they're causing. Nothing inconvenient is lawful. Well, it's not inconvenient every month, and Victoria has to come up with a ridiculous amount to keep property that belongs to her family, so it's not fucking trafficked. No one has bound them to expose themselves to misfortune and danger. Well, that's why Victoria kept saying something about what they were doing. So here's a text message from April the 19th, 2020. I'm in trouble. I've been staying with 2 psychopaths for the last 30 days, which has taken its toll. The last psycho flipped out yesterday to tell me I have to be out by 3 p.m. today, knowing full well there's nowhere to go. This individual is violent and I'm scared. It threatened to call the RCMP last night over nothing. I've been trying to find somewhere to go on no notice. I don't know what to do, and I've had enough bullshit to last me a lifetime. So that's over 5 years ago now. So here's legal bullshit about how you prove beyond a reasonable doubt crime. Right? Guilty act, guilty mind, concurrence, both at the same time, causation, harm. Law maxim, first in time, stronger in the law. Under common law, the first claim prevails over later claim. So they're claiming to have some kind of right to steal and to traffic what doesn't belong to them, because they've got an agreement. So it's not going to change, right? All that they've done, all the ugly that they are, and all the ugly that they do, that can never be changed. Them coming with the fucking SWAT team and all the criminal harassment and all the humiliation and the degradation and the fucking lies, the pathological lying, that doesn't change anything that's happened. For some reason, these fucking sick fucking monkeys, these malicious, mindless fucking monkeys actually believe that they can keep telling the fucking same lie over and over again, and somehow that's magically going to become the truth. Now, see, that's what happens when you're a reprobate and you don't know fucking how to live in reality. Well, because it's Daniel Carroll and Graham Mag and a bunch of other fucking savages who are guilty of fraud affecting the public market. Please excuse me, my stomach is just... Well, but this is right. I mean, everybody who has a heart and an ear who wants to listen, this is the effect. The physical effect. Which is completely... Like, why? Why would you continue to fucking be ugly? Because you are ugly? Is that what this is? Because you are what you do. You tell lies, you're a liar. You fucking steal, you're a thief. You fucking take somebody's life, willfully, knowingly, intentionally. Yeah, you're a murderer. You sure fucking are. Yeah, that's reality. Let's all get a grip on reality. So Jack's word is the law. Jack's word is the law. That's why you would create a trust. And then of course you have the King of Kings, who is the lawgiver and the judge. Don't steal, don't lie, don't deny justice, don't do anything endangering your neighbor's life, don't show partiality, don't pervert justice, don't deceive, don't withhold good, don't grant the wicked their desires, don't accuse anyone for no reason. Well, then the third witness would be all this other legalese garbage here in Canada, the Constitution, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, the Canadian Bill of Rights, the Criminal Code of Canada, what they refer to as the common law, law maxims, international law. I mean, all of that stands to testify that Victoria and Jack have the right to that property because we haven't named anyone else. And the inclusion of one is the exclusion of all others. I mean, it's just... I mean, it's 2 pages. The lowest of life forms could understand what this says. Well, because they're premeditating theft. Criminal Code of Canada offense, section 322. That's what they're doing. The law never allows anything contrary to the truth. Exactly. Because if it's not the truth, then it's a lie, and if it's a lie, then it's witchcraft. Practiced by witches. That's who lies. That's who tells lies. Only a witch would do something like that. Section 4, A and B. It's bulletproof. Bulletproof. You can't get around it. No third party can make a claim against Jack and Victoria's land, home, or personal chattels, including the house cars. And everything is gone. Law maxim, man or woman shall not be deprived of their property without their consent. Well, really? Gee, that makes sense, doesn't it? So now these owners and these employees of Wisher ULOC are wanting to impersonate Jack and Victoria, claiming that they own property that they don't own. They want to act as the beneficiaries of the property in that locker. That's identity fraud, section 403 of the Criminal Code of Canada. Because in February, Victoria had had fucking enough. And she sent out notifications telling fucking Dean Murdoch over here that you're responsible for all the fucking financial harm that you're causing knowingly and willingly. So whatever rents are due, wherever they're due, you're the one paying. Absolutely not. Nope, that brainless beast will not follow the law. It will not protect life, and it will not protect property. So then we've got intimidation, because you realize that there's all kinds of threats and menaces. There's coming through the mail and coming through email. Intimidation. Intimidation for the purpose of compelling a man or woman to abstain from doing anything that they have the lawful right to do, or do anything that they have the lawful right to abstain from doing. So Victoria has the lawful right to abstain from continuing to destroy her own life by providing these criminal organizations with her property. Any monies, any financial resources Victoria is receiving, and it's next to nothing, goes to taking care of Victoria's needs. And these are special needs now, because now Victoria is at a stage in her life that would be referred to legally as an elder or a senior. Well, because Victoria has tried to get the property out of the locker for years, tried to get that property out of that locker and put it back where it belongs, which is on Jack and Victoria's land and inside their home. False information, because now what you've got happening here is you've got these owners and these staff of Wisher ULOC advertising a lie that they own that property and they have the right to traffic that property in a silent auction. It's false information. It's a lie. They know it's a lie. They know they're liars. They know they have no right to that property. They know they have no right to traffic that property. Using mail to defraud, right? Well, that's what Daniel Carroll did. Every person who makes use of the mail for the purpose of transmitting or delivering letters or circulars concerning schemes devised or intended to deceive or defraud for the purpose of obtaining money under false pretenses. That's what they're doing. So there's been 5, and one of them was registered. 5 threatening after they were told. They would write it off. If you believe that you're owed a debt, that you have a debt, then write it off. It's a business expense. Trafficking in stolen property. So whoever would actually purchase that property then would be in possession of stolen property. And now you've got these owners and these staff counseling an offense. Definition of counsel: procure, solicit, or incite. That's what they're doing. Theft and possession. Well, that's what they're doing. Accessory after the fact. It is a rule of law that an error not resisted is approved. So that's why you have to say something. When you know something is wrong and you know someone is being caused loss, harm, or injury, whether it's you, your family members, your neighbors, you better say something, because this isn't the reason why Canada now is circling the drain. Because the sociopathic savages they've now completely taken over. So one cannot transfer to another a right which they have not. Well, hiding an offense, isn't that what they're doing? So they've known for how many months that they're in possession of property that was obtained under false pretenses. Have they ever called the Wish or RCMP and said, we need to report a crime? And we do know the names of these criminals. Well, you know Peter Innes, right? The bailiff, the brainless beast bailiff. Compounding indictable offense. Well, you're hiding an offense. Section 141. You're corruptly taking a reward for recovery of goods. So every single time Victoria, in error, because she had been threatened and menaced, provided you any valuable consideration for the recovery of anything obtained by the commission of indictable offense, was actually aiding and abetting crime against herself and her family. Who would do that? But we see now what happens when Victoria does the right thing. There's more loss, harm, and injury. And if they have done what they have set out to do, there is no amount of money that can ever repair. It's irreparable harm. Irreparable. Because nobody should have access to that locker but Victoria. Disobeying a statute, Section 126. Well, Victoria would be disobeying the common law if she engaged these pathological lying, pathetic public servants acting as Saanich Police, Victoria Police, the Bench, the BC Prosecution Services, all legal fictions, all criminal organizations. Canada recognizes the principle of the supremacy of the rule of law, the law of consent. Consent makes the law. A contract is a law between parties which can acquire force only by consent. So there's express trusts and there are implied trusts. What we saw before, what it was an expressed trust. This was written by my spouse. This is implied. But it's still the same heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still the same mind and heart that, again, whatever you want is yours. My car is yours. Time to retire the Mazda. Well, we saw what happened to the Mazda. And we know what happened to Jack's car. It's gone, it's stolen. And so is the Mazda. And no, Derry, I don't have control because that was robbed from me as well. So this is a court summary sheet from the February the 28th. Obviously, I have to keep saying something. I need them to stop what they're doing. The beast bencher is, oh, look at that. It's a Murray. C. Murray. Since we have a problem with Murrays in Canada. So that fighting for an injunction, which they had to grant, Victoria was denied due process. Victoria asked that beast, the malicious monkey Murray, if it had read the application. No, don't need to. No, I don't need to fucking have a clue what's going on here. You're trying to save your life and protect your property? You have fucking no rights to do that in Canada. If we want it, we're going to steal it. And if you lose your life over our ugliness, well, we don't care. We're above the law. We do what we want to who we want when we want. We're above the law. We're sovereign citizens. Yeah, we're sovereign citizens. So obviously I'm not consenting because once again I'm fighting to get them to stop what they're doing. And it's due process, the rule of law is dismissed and denied. That it was the 5th fucking time I'd gone into that fucking synagogue of Satan. So there's an altar in that room because they're about to sacrifice you, your sons and your daughters, your right to have access to your wealth. You're the sacrifice. Your archaic notion that you have rights, that's what they sacrifice on that altar. You have been into one of these synagogues, haven't you? These synagogues of Satan. So, I mean, I went fucking everywhere to get them to stop this. So for a little while, they had actually convinced me that I was a tenant on Jack and I's land. I'm not a tenant. I'm the fucking trustee. I'm the beneficial owner, bitch. But I went to this fucking joke, this absolute fucking useless service, and I filed a complaint. Like, we got a problem here. That wasn't taken care of before I was forced evicted on March 19th, 2020. That matter had not been heard, so they should have not been at the home and on the land trespassing, because there was still a controversy, right? There was still something that had to be sorted out. An error not resisted is approved. So look at this. March 19th, a handful of brainless beasts descended upon Victoria, did trespass, threaten, and intimidate an innocent woman. Victoria did resist. She did not consent to being left homeless and penniless by forced eviction. To no avail, Victoria made a number of calls to remove male monsters from her home. Every government service was closed. Peter Innes, Daniel Carroll, knew there was a ban on forced evictions, therefore possessed no lawful excuse for conspiracy to murder Victoria by leaving her in danger, in extreme poverty and homeless. So on March the 11th, 2020, it was decided that there was a worldwide pandemic. Now the next day, that should have shut down forced evictions. But it took these fucking brainless beasts over here in the West a little longer. So it would have been the day before, or a couple of days before March the 19th, that there was a ban on evictions placed in the province, because this is being reported by Global News on March the 19th. And yet, why are they at Victoria's home? Jack and Victoria's home. So the two Asians, they never ever lived in Jack and Victoria's house. They never lived in the house. Victoria's homeless and fucking destitute, and her and Jack's house is empty until those two fucking savages put it back up for sale. Another fraudulent sale, a year to the day after they were provided access to Jack and Victoria's house by fraudulent foreclosure. Benjamin Howe and Sandra Dennis didn't even have Jack and Victoria's house for a year when they found out they were in possession of stolen property. And yet, this fucking beast Benji, the heathen Howe, continues to prove itself to be a pathological liar. Like it doesn't fucking understand what's going on. It's playing stupid. Like all the rest of the fucking savages. Oh, look at this here. This is Daniel Carroll. You ever seen that movie They Live? With Rowdy Piper? From the late 80s? Remember how they have to put those glasses on to see what's like the reality? Well, we the peculiar people don't need the glasses. We see that without the glasses. Yeah, we read souls. It's not a good time for us. So here's this fella, David Webb, who's been going around screaming from the mountaintops for quite some time now, saying, listen, the banks are going to seize everything you own. They're fucking coming for everything you fucking have. So how can Victoria be the one telling lies if there's others saying the same thing? Oh, Victoria was given a card by this brainless beast. Bailiff. Appointed by the Ministry of Just Us. Well, they're stealing paperwork to commit theft. So this is how legalese writes up an offense. This is exactly how, in legalese, offenses are written up. That a male monster acting as court bailiff who completed and signed notice of seizure stands charged that on the 19th of March 2020 at 6:04 Polynethus Crescent, BC, did commit theft of an automobile, to wit, interest private property, 2006 Ford Focus, contrary to section 3.1 of the Criminal Code. That's legalese. That's how they write up their shit. They're Babylonian beast bullshit. So there was literally a handful of brainless beasts inside Victoria's home March the 19th. Not one of them gave a fuck that they were putting innocent women out on the street during a ban on forced evictions. Nothing was open. There was nowhere to go. All the shelters were shut. If a guide dog judges that a command is unsafe, it will refuse the command. Intelligent disobedience. So the species Victoria dealt with on March the 19th, 2020, is a lower level than a dog. They have less intelligence than a dog. No statute of limitations on serious crime. Oh, really? No limitation period on crime in Canada? So you can report at any time. Well, you can't report to these fucking pukes acting as the police. They're the criminals in Canada. They decide who's going to get charged. You don't have that fucking authority. You don't have any first-hand fucking knowledge. Only the victim of the crime would have the authority to decide whether charges are laid or not. You fucking useless pieces of shit. Well, Jack talks about power. Power of the law. In the word he created, in the law he created. He doesn't talk about legal statute. Although we could go through the legal statute and then it says exactly the same thing as Jack says. That you can't go and move in on our property and fucking steal everything and then fucking take it for yourselves. An inheritance. Right. That's right. So non-negotiable qualifications of a lawful ethical contract. So the tenant agreement Victoria was forced to sign in April of 2020, that was handed to her by one of the staff members at West Shore ULOC, does not meet the qualifications of a lawful ethical contract. It doesn't meet it. There's no free and genuine consent. There was not full disclosure. There has been no consideration afforded to Victoria. No consideration, no kindness at all. Certainty of terms. No. Meeting of the minds. Well, how can... Well, listen, West Shore ULOC is a legal fiction. A legal fiction doesn't have a mind. It doesn't have a brain. It doesn't have eyes. It doesn't have ears. It doesn't have a mouth. So how can there be a meeting of the minds between Victoria, a living woman, and a legal fiction fucking dead entity? How can that happen? Because none of those staff members and those owners don't sign that agreement. And that's on purpose, by the way. Signatures and autographs. Right. Everybody has to sign. Everyone involved in the arrangement has to sign. Privity of contract. A contract exists between only the parties. No third party can obtain rights contained within a contract, or buy or sell a contract without the express permission of the original parties. So if I told you fucking no, you're not stealing what's inside that locker, and you're not going to fucking silent auction it off, and you have gone fucking ahead and done that. Oh, but wait, you're above the law, aren't you? Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Oh, equal. Everyone's equal. Equal protection, equal benefit, without discrimination. Really, where you can write all this bullshit down that you want, but your actions say the exact opposite. Which is why words mean nothing. So who's the criminal justice system? Canadian Victims' Bill of Rights. Oh, fuck. An offense. So the following definitions apply in this act, which is not law, it's acting as law. Offense means an offense under the Criminal Code. Oh, okay. Under the War Crimes Act. Really? Under the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. Okay. Criminal justice system? Really? Well, you don't have a criminal justice system because all of those agencies are manned by monkeys who are fucking criminals themselves. So you've got a problem here, don't you? Right? Useless fucking eaters that you all are. So it's the victim that decides whether the charges are laid. It's the victim that moves the court. It's the victim that is the criminal justice system. Because the victim is the only one with first-hand knowledge of what's going on. If the victim goes tells somebody else, that now becomes hearsay. Hearsay is inadmissible in an actual legitimate fucking common law court. Oh, heaven help us. So less than 72 hours before I did try to repossess the land and the home in order to save my life and to stop crime, this document got sent out. Now it's been altered slightly. Basically, it's the same. Because what you got is fraud on the court, right? Fraud unravels everything. Both of the land titles that are based on fraud, both of the mortgages that are based on fraud, every single tenancy or lease agreement that have been drawn up by Benjamin Howe and Sandra Dennis since they gained possession of property obtained by a crime, all based on fraud. They're racketeering. They're receiving a valuable consideration by being criminals, by playing stupid. This is not coming up and staying up. Jesus fucking Christ. Not happy. Wow, it's just not letting me get into this, is it? Won't even let me scroll up the page. Oh, you want to do a summary? Okay, let's see what this shit show is. Well, it won't even let me do that. Yeah, that was the monster at the door. The monster at the door. So this is what SWAT looks like when it shows up. hallway was full. And there was 2 victims that pulled up. Left. For an innocent woman who's harmed no one. That's police brutality. That's police misconduct. That's gross police misconduct. That is as sick gets.